Estupendo. Esta vez no va a haber ningún problema em, de audio porque ya lo he comprobado, así que estupendo, estupandiástico. Hoy es sábado, todavía es sábado. Y es sábado de exactamente de Dragon Age. Es sábado de Dragon Age. Si hay alguien por ahí que de momento no. Dadme un segundo que voy a poner lo de, oye, que estoy en directo en Twitter y tal. Y mientras pues vamos viendo la cinemática again, que hace mucho que no estamos por aquí. Bueno, os leo en el chat. Y eso, vamos a jugar a Dragon Age. Algún día iniciaré sesión en los servidores. En Coffee conseguimos... un segundo. Hace mucho calor. Vale, si no recuerdo mal, nos quedaba solo enanos y misiones secundarias, así que vamos a hacer enanos y espero no morirme en el intento porque hace mucho calor, mucho calor. ¿De acuerdo? Hola Zumi, bienvenida, hemos conseguido por fin ponernos en directo, no sé cuánto voy a durar, pero oye, vamos a intentarlo. Perdón. Ya no me acuerdo ni de los controles. Genial, genial, porque la última vez fue un desastre. Hubo problemas con la pantalla, con el micrófono, por el continente. Mira, no sé, yo solo sé que yo me quemo por dentro y por fuera. Ya no vamos al mapa del mundo, que sí. Ah, coño, perdón. Que hace mucho que no juego, ¿vale? Entonces, dadme un respiro. Bueno, pues ya hemos reclutado, venga, a los elfos, hemos rescatado a Earl. Que me estoy quedando solo. Tengo que revisar porque compré el DLC de este juego por el Coffee. ¿Habéis visto esa espadazo que le ha arreado a 3 kilómetros de distancia? No. Que tiene que haber algún enemigo más por ahí. Vale. Me están dejando acá. Coño, que hay gente y todo. Hola. Sí, ya habíamos quedado en eso, ¿no? Gracias, gracias por ese follow. Estamos aquí un ratillo de tranquis, recordando controles y esas cosas porque llevo meses sin jugar entre pitos y flautas. Uy, dinero. Más dinero. Más dinero. Dinero, dinero. Vamos a seguir nuestro camino hasta Orzammar. Bueno, Orzammar es como no es como, o sea, es como el último bastión de los enanos que viven todavía bajo la superficie. ¿El gumio? Explícame eso. O sea, explícame eso porque no lo entiendo. Pero bueno. Qué violenta está la gente. Bueno, ya sabes que a mí me tienes que hablar como una yaya, ¿vale? Qué violenta la gente. Estábamos aquí de tranquis y de repente nos ha atacado. Cataplasma para mí. Cataplasma para mí. Tú y yo tenemos pendiente jugar a los barquitos. No se me olvida. Seguir. Por aquí hay...
How are we supposed to live like this? I have buyers waiting.
Surface silks, half price.
Buah, yo tengo abandonadísimo todo, ¿eh? O sea, el Destiny... el de los barquitos... El otro, que también estaba jugando... Joder, voy a estar equivocando de controles constantemente. Yo lo siento mucho. Vamos a meterle constitución, que no quiero que me maten. Está a nivel 14. Solo está jugando al Dragon Quest último. Tú, qué chungo. Estoy jugando al Dragon Quest Builders, el Final Fantasy Remake, porque me lo dejó de un amigo y me ha dicho tienes que jugarlo y decirnos a nosotros y irme contando tus impresiones, que me hace mucha gracia. Y yo pues nada, estoy ahí contándole mis impresiones. La gente esta no parece muy contenta, ¿eh?
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers
Pensaba que lo había escrito mal, pero he escrito bien.
The assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown.
Tengo aquí mi ventilador, que me lo voy a acercar. Porque es que qué calor.
Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was
Sí, o
born
sea...
topside.
¿Uh?
I don't remember having it.
Vale, ahí mi... Azumi, tú cuando veas lo del Draw This in Your Style, please, bórralo. Porque, claro, llevo
of luck
tanto
to you.
tiempo sin meterme que se me ha olvidado por completo que ese mensaje ya no tiene cabida.
There are other places to sell. I don't have to come back here.
Va por... Vaya.
King Logate.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your
Luego,
assembly.
luego
I
le
am
daré
his
un
appointed
vuelco.
messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
None more important than mine.
3
Your
cojones y
business
medio.
will wait. Orzammar must limit outside
Tranquila,
influence
sí,
until
estoy
the
yo
throne is
pendiente
settled.
también, pero es por si se
No
me
one
pasa.
gets in.
They hide because they are dwarves.
Bueno, pero es
I
sábado.
would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endronai Dukan returned to the Stone not 3 weeks ago. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not
Una guerra
settled soon,
civil,
we
qué
risk a
bonito.
civil war.
The Wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Anda, no me toques
Well,
las
that is the
narices.
royal seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it.
Bueno, yo también
Grey
me
Warden,
despierto
you
muy
may
pronto.
pass.
You're letting in
No
a
te
traitor?
contesto los roles porque
And
me
a
da pereza
foreigner?
y me dedico a releerlos.
In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Anda, cállate ya, pavo, que eres tontísimo.
You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you
Aquí le
quartered.
espero para cuando quiera.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Necesito una opción que diga cállate, pavo, que eres tontísimo. En serio, o sea, la necesito.
Fair journeys, Warden.
Siéntate y pedalea. Sí, sí. Bueno, vamos a investigar. Hace siglos que no juego a este juego, entonces ya no me acuerdo. O sea, sé lo que va a pasar porque lo sé, pero no me acuerdo.
Show some pity for a poor old man.
Me das pena, pero no tengo
I
dinero
haven't
para
eaten
darte.
in days. If
A ver,
only you
tener
had come
tengo.
at a less troubled time.
Bueno, a ver, os explico lo que te lleva a los parangones, ¿vale? O sea, grandes rasgos
all Orzammar will know your name.
son como grandes héroes, ¿vale? Son figuras heroicas.
Don't say that. Get back to the fort.
Ahí tengo ganas de dibujar, bueno, de crear un personaje. Mierda.
I await your command.
Show some pity for a poor
Le he dado al botón B diciendo voy a saltar, pero no, no voy a saltar, ¿vale?
You
O
have
sea,
a barbed tongue, Morgan.
mis
Why do
momentos
you
de
treat others in this way?
I owe you no
subnormalidad
explanation.
profunda.
There is no writing on my forehead that says, please, guide me.
You are traveling with these people. It behooves you to be civil.
You were too transparent, old woman. Do not bring up our companions when all you wish is for me to be civil to you. I am not one of your circle apprentices, to hang on your every word. I am not Alistair, who sees in you a
El
surrogate
pobre
mother.
Alistair recibe por
No,
todos lados,
it
aunque
is
no me
obvious
extraña.
You are nothing like Alistair.
Take your lectures elsewhere. They mean nothing to me.
Me vais a ver haciendo una cosa muy rara, pero... Mi refresco. Y el refresquín. Estamos a 33 grados, tío.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
Handlers, separate these dashers
Ya,
in the
ya ves.
diamond quarter. I will not have
A
Balin
ver, que
incite a
no sé
riot.
dónde estoy. Aquí.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!
¡Ah, qué bien! Empieza estupendamente todo, ¿eh? Estoy grabando mis...
I won't have fighting in the commons, especially in front of outsiders. We'll all have him in the Legion. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Sí, bueno, es que el sur es el sur. Estoy con esto ahora mismo, ¿vale? O sea... Esto es lo único que tengo. Con eso lo digo todo.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry. Personal battles for
Vamos
honor
a tener
and
que
ancestor.
participar en
I
los
don't
juegos.
expect the
Vosotros lo
surfacer to
sabéis, yo lo
understand.
sé, todo el mundo lo
If you
sabe,
must be
¿vale?
our
O sea, en el
warden,
momento
at
en el que
least
dicen
know
juegos
us.
arena...
Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
¡Hombre, Oli!
Yes, you should.
A ver. Vamos a explorar un poco para que veáis la ciudad de los hermanos. Eso es una misión secundaria. Mira, hay una casa. Ah, no, que es una tienda.
Ancestors' garden. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for
En
my
Dragon
son
Age
Rock.
los enanos
I
se
only
viven
wish I
en
knew whether I
castas.
should be asking for his safe return or for the
Y
ancestors
bueno, ya
to
sabemos
accept
cómo van
his
los
soul.
sistemas de castas, ¿no? O sea, tú perteneces a una casta y no puedes cambiar de casta, ¿vale? O sea, directamente. Luego están los descastados, que es como los ETA en Japón, que es como la mugre de la sociedad.
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way.
Te dejo con tu pena, me encanta.
There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. A warden. So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good widow Filda. We'll do our best.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the deep roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Me encanta el
Please,
acento de
find me as
Zebra,
soon
¿eh?
as you return.
No podemos entrar, están cerradas. Pues ya sabemos que ir cogiendo las misiones secundarias y ya las iremos haciendo. Probablemente esta la terminemos haciendo cuando nos metamos en los caminos de las profundidades, porque nos vamos a meter, no os preocupéis. Plebeyo. A ver, un momento. ¿Qué me ha mandado? Ahí está la taberna. Ahí hay otra misión secundaria. Taberna Tragos. Ole el nombre. Podría llamarse Taberna Manolo, pero ¿por qué no? Tragos.
stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs.
Hostia,
What do
tú.
you have?
Hidromiel.
I have an award-winning honey mead. Surface Family ships it down here every month. Only 1.5 silvers a mug. One honey
¿Por
mead
qué
coming
no?
right up.
Aún no hemos ido a Denerim a la perla, que es el
Vartag
prostíbulo,
Gavorn
o sea
certainly
que...
owes Prince Balin. From a minor house to a prince's right-hand man. He'd do anything Balin asked him. Well, I have other customers to see too. If you need anything else, just call me over.
I'll miss old King Endrin. He was a good man.
There's an ale out there with my name on it.
We've a bit of stew on the fire.
Afternoon,
Hombre, un
stranger.
señor con nombre
Looking for a
propio,
stool to
hablemos
share
con
a
él.
brew?
Y tú buscas un puñetazo en toda la cara, ahí bien, o sea, bien el
Name's Naveen.
borderío.
I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, wardens. I was in the deep roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka, something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid.
Proceso de
He knows what we go
recabar
through in the deep
información.
roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines.
Juraría que por aquí había un que me decía cuánto tiempo llevaba de directo. Ah, vale, ya lo he visto.
I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Lord Harrowmont's got his own men there, all looking for signs of Bronca. Guess the city's getting to miss having a paragon. Everyone wants someone to put in charge. Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
In
Es que qué bonitas cosas os pasan, ¿eh?
They're everywhere. I can't take it.
El pobrecito, ese va a perder la
I
cabeza.
don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending
¿A qué
time
madre le
in
gusta que su
taverns.
hijo pierda el tiempo en
You
las
understand
tabernas?
what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right,
Ojalá,
Warden?
tío, ojalá. En el exterior no reina la
But there are
igualdad.
those like you who see this with concern.
A
No?
una alcohólica.
Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes.
Bueno, en realidad
You
como
know,
que le daría
Most
igual,
smiths
¿no?
and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
Mira, un señor inteligente.
Badly. Oh,
¿Cómo funciona el sistema de castas? Mal.
well, it's simple. I
Me parece
guess.
correcta la
The
opinión.
king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. Me and 79 other
Vamos a hacer la
fine,
pregunta
upstanding
obvia
examples
de
of how
¿y vais a
someone who's
elegir
born
a
into
vuestro
every
próximo
privilege
rey? Porque como no nos lo han
inevitably
dicho
wants more.
800.000
They're not
veces,
fond of my views
pues
on
otra
quantity.
más que más da.
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrimont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
Debo decir que
As
yo
you wish.
estoy condicionada porque vamos a tener que ayudar a uno de los dos. O sea, no os estoy haciendo un spoiler, o sea, lo estamos viendo. No nos hacen más que hablar de estos dos señores. Y ya nos han dicho que tenemos que hablar. Pues nos vamos a tener que posicionar. Y yo estoy condicionada porque no sé si hacer un directo exclusivo para hacer todos los inicios. Pero la verdad es que me da bastante pereza. No voy a mentir.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont, neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Hombre, ¿a qué vamos a...? Esto va a servir... No tengo chatarra. Eso se lo vamos a poder regalar a Leliana.
Maker's blessing on you, sister.
A ti también te bendiga. Pero no sabía que los
I'm
enanos...
Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
Yo también
And
pensaba
that
lo
is
mismo,
something to
Morrigan.
rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
¿Y tú crees
The
que te van a
Shaper
dar
it controls
permiso?
changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
Bueno, te deseo suerte, ya me contarás cómo termina el asunto. Es que este tipo de respuestas es como, venga, adiós.
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder,
Sí, venga,
guiding you always.
hemos pasado a ser el
Please,
largo
let me
del
know as soon as you've
traste
heard
así en un segundo. Nuevo códice. Me encanta porque ponen el edificio aquí en todo el centraco, en plan de... Buah, mira, tiene puerta. La puerta está de adorno, ¿sabes? No se abre. Es como, pues, no sé, no me pongas un edificio en todo el medio que no se puede abrir la puerta. Bueno, bienvenidos al barrial de Orzammar.
There's a rich one.
Tú,
We'll
tú.
get plenty for their kid.
Qué violenta es la gente. Qué violenta es la gente. Que nos ha venido aquí. Espera, que hay otro. Espera. No, pues nada. Bueno, mira, el sitio va a estar mejor sin vosotros. ¿A qué les gusta tocar las narices?
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few
Vamos a ver qué quiere.
connections
¿Qué
above
quiere
ground.
usted?
No offense, but your
dinero.
kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium.
Ah,
The sacred
genial.
gift
Me
of
quiere
stone
como,
provides us to show her
como
love.
camello.
No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower.
Es que lleva
I got one
tío,
man
que lleva.
named Godwin. He's
Que lleva
expecting
Wayne
the
en el
delivery
grupo.
of Stone's Way. You want an
Ya me
investment
estoy diciendo, vamos a
opportunity? I
hacer
could see
contrabando
fit
de
to
lirio
say,
con la terra del
sell
círculo.
you
Y
that
estoy en
lyrium
plan de...
instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee.
El contrabando es ilegal, te voy a encerrar. Debe ser peligroso si
More
pagas
so for
tantas.
someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore.
Maravilloso.
The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it.
Parece el tipo de
As long
oportunidades
as you
que
keep
yo no
your eyes
puedo.
down and your mouth shut, we've got no further business.
A ver, ya apareció un grupo de la nada a pegarse conmigo por los loles. Pues, seguramente porque me quería robar.
Whoever you're looking for, it's not me, I swear.
No, eso se lo estoy cotilleando en realidad. O sea, estoy viendo vuestra miseria. No tiene mayor misterio.
Spare a bit for the need. Have you a coin to spare, milady? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
A question I ask every day. He was eager enough for a daughter who would bring him into the mining caste. But since the boy was born, I've not seen nose or heel of the lout.
And me alone on the street, forbidden to return to my family unless I... But no! I can't bear to even think of it!
Es una estafa.
My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a miner, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I
Esos
never
eran unos
bore
hijos
him.
de la gran.
In Orzammar, lineage is traced through the child's same-sex parent. Had my baby been a girl, she would have been a minor like me. But as a boy, my son is considered tainted forever by his father's sin.
Todo maravilloso, ¿eh?
Yes. I can become casteless with him, which is what I've done. Others have raised children like this, right? Begging for change, sleeping in doorways. You would do that? But why?
Mira, guarda regalado, no le mires el
Then I
diente.
cannot offer enough
Literalmente,
gratitude.
me has dado penica.
But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
Puedo ser muy persuasiva, no te preocupes. Puerta sospechosa. Zebran, ¿tú qué crees?
Oh? At your
Vale,
service.
sigo ahí. Vale, estoy ahí recuperando controles, ¿ves? O sea, por ejemplo, esta que estoy en todo el medio. Pues nada, la puerta no se abre. Pero la del lateral sí. ¿Por qué no, sabes?
Of course.
Yo sé que no vas a poder, pero por si acaso.
I am afraid not. I knew it.
¡Ostras, que lo ha conseguido! No lo puedo creer. Zebran ha abierto una cerradura, chaval. Vamos a hacer una puta fiesta.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dusttown. Help a poor cripple. Calm down there, killer. No need to get testy. I'll just stay out of your way then.
Yo ahí necesito una respuesta intermedia en plan de no te quiero dar dinero, pero tampoco quiero insultarte, ¿sabes? Ni patearte la cabeza. Vale, buenas noches, Azumi. O cuando me vaya a la cama te contesto los roles. A ver, me han dicho que por aquí podría intentar cumplir la misión secundaria esa. ¿Y por qué haces loca? Voy. Hasta mañana. Mira, ahí está la misión. Hola, señor.
What are you looking at, stranger?
¿Qué clase de monstruo? Eres
I could be. What business is it of yours? What? You think she'd die just to keep that thing? She knows what she
Esa
has
cosa,
to do
te
to come
estás
home.
refiriendo a un
I never
bebé.
wanted her gone. Just the little cur. Can't she see she'd have a better life if she got rid of it? Look, just tell her we never meant to hurt her. It just seemed best that... Oh, just tell her to come home. Her mother and I are waiting for her.
Yo he dicho que era muy persuasiva, ¿eh? O sea, para no, tengo el nivel de persuasión a tope, es lo primero que me subo siempre. Carisma. Así sale el une luego, ¿sabes? Podría dejar de hacer tanto calor, estaría bien.
you're back. I thought you weren't coming. What did he say? Both of us? I don't believe he said that. I've never heard him refer to my son as anything but trash. He calls him it. But maybe Mother convinced him. Or you did.
Aquí me has dado pena, no tienes que agradecérmelo. Vete a tu casa y no vuelvas por aquí.
Story. My son would grow to manhood and pledge himself as a knight in your service. When he grows up, I will send him to you. I promise.
Pues nada, guarda gris, que is coming, en plan, yo que sé, brujos del The Witcher. Tiene una deuda conmigo. Armeros ya nada. ¿Esto qué puede ser? Hay otra misión secundaria.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not
Bueno, os
around
presento a Dagna. Dagna.
I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows
Dagna
the
saldrá luego en Dragon
I don't
Age
suppose you've heard of something
Inquisition.
called the Circle?
Y será un personaje secundario bastante importante.
Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
¿Y por qué no iban a hacerlo?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them. I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of
Es
the
una
surface,
chica
and the
inteligente.
Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Teventer Imperiums for Tikum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
Me lo
Oh,
creo.
I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Me lo creo. ¿Sabéis qué? Que creo que vamos a aprovechar la coyuntura. Aquí tengo que salir, cierto. No me acordaba. No me acordaba que tenían que salir de aquí. Vamos a aprovechar la coyuntura y vamos a ir al círculo y vamos a cumplir la misión de Dagna. ¿Por qué no?
You do still intend to
Mira,
kill
un
your
documento que
target,
se me ha
do you
saltado.
not? Is your reputation not on the line?
Are you still on about this woman?
I am led to believe that the crows would never permit such a transgression. They will come after you and enforce.
It has come to my attention that the crows are not always successful when pit against the Grey Wardens and their companions.
Perhaps they will send someone competent next time.
You wound me.
I have considered doing far more than that. Trust me.
Morrigan es una puta borde, tío. No, no es por aquí. Ay, de verdad, qué angustia con los mapas. No me aclaro en un puñetero mapa. En el Final Fantasy me pasa lo mismo. Estoy dando vueltas siempre todo el rato por el mismo sitio porque no me aclaro con el mapa. Buah, en el Dragon Quest ya flipáis que no hay mapa. Bueno, lo hay, pero tienes que buscarlo y a mí me da mucha pereza. Hablo del 1, en el 2 tienes mapa. Aún así también pierdo un poquito. ¿Podré ahora? Ahora sí. Qué cosa más fea de bicho, ¿eh? Todo se ha dicho.
You're awake. Did you feel it too? It was like the archdemons saw us. Saw us! What does that mean? I think... Wait. Did you hear that?
Está volviendo paranoico.
I guess it's like Duncan once said. We can sense them, and they can sense us. We'd best
A
be
ver,
more
esto es
careful from
recíproco,
now
si no,
on.
no tendría gracia.
This camp isn't safe any longer.
Los recaudadores de impuestos, dice.
Fortification should be built around the camp.
How unnerving.
It will be more difficult to sleep here now.
What, no trap? No ambush? Something I say this.
Mira qué limpia me ha dejado, si es que no se puede.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear
Ya
your
está
hair?
ligando. Hola, Joma, ¿cómo estamos? Sí, he conseguido volver, aunque estoy un poco asfixiada, no voy a mentir.
It's very nice, and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons,
De momento,
jewels.
Joma, estamos
One year,
solitos.
feathers were all the rage.
O sea, hay
and Lady
espectadores,
Elise
pero no
decided
están
she
activos
needed
en
to
el
outdo
chat.
everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Pobres pájaros.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair.
Qué
But I
asco.
was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable
He
talking to
intentado
you.
volver
Like I
antes,
could
¿vale?
say
Pero
anything and
siempre
you wouldn't
pasaba
judge me.
algo.
Yes, very much so. I haven't felt this close to anyone in
Pero
a long
siempre
time.
pasaba algo
I
que me
really enjoy your
impedía
company.
volver. Yo ya era el calor. Y bueno, pues me ha dicho mi madre, ponte de noche. Y yo, bueno, pues me pongo de noche.
Thank Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way.
Chachi. Hola,
What is your
Fede.
desire? Again? I'm game.
Obviamente,
The
¿quieres?
itch has returned, I see.
Obviamente, o sea, lo siento, es que Zebra me puede. Bueno, que nosotros sigamos de camino.
Yes.
Indeed.
Sigamos de camino. Ah, la torre del círculo. Pues, a ver, como estamos jugando en Xbox, no, y como, a ver, aunque el canal lo tengo en plan para mayores de 18 y tal, no lo iba a hacer, pero en la versión de, bien, te llega el wifi, en la versión de PC hay un mod, ¿vale? Que básicamente te enseña lo que pasaría en ese fundido en negro. Ay, que tengo ahora con me encanta.
Welcome back, friend. You'll be glad to learn that the circle is well on its way to
Muerte
recovery.
por Kiki. No sé yo si sería muerte por Kiki.
Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the circle should be flattered.
Dagna es maravillosa.
I cannot deny anyone, dwarf or human, the chance to learn.
Boadica a veces
Knowledge
es
should not be withheld
inteligente,
from
pero
those
solo
who
a
seek
veces, ¿vale? El resto del tiempo es
Tell
una cazurra.
Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. If only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be
Mira, lo mismo os
disappointed
puede
when she
ayudar, es una
arrives.
herrera.
This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our
¿Te
dwarven
refieres
neighbors.
a Dagna o a Boadica?
The more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle.
Ah, sí, bueno, a ver, es que Boa es maravillosa, ¿vale?
I wish you well. No, you will always
Pronto te
be
dice que
welcome
te
here.
parte la boca de una patada y al día siguiente es como, ay, no, te voy a ayudar. Todo bien. Amiguitos otra vez. Sí, es que es muy cazurra. ¿Para qué mentir? Vamos a ver.
So you do not fear the crows at all?
I think of it more as my desire to leave them far exceeds the fear I possess of them.
You think the Grey Wardens will give you safe harbor once all this is done? Surely you are not so naive.
I am willing to take my chances.
And if you are wrong?
Then I will be dead. One does not do what I do and fear death so very greatly.
There are fates worse than death.
And one of them is being unable to choose which master you serve. Trust me.
Vale, me ha vuelto a pasar exactamente lo mismo. Tengo que revisar el Stream Elements. Me ha vuelto a pasar lo mismo, porque soy así de lela. Ahí donde estaba. Vale, por otro lado. Me cago en la vida, ¿eh? Vale, ahí está. Pero no os mováis de sitio, jolines, que luego no os encuentro.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said. Ancestors, bless you. I can't believe it. There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since Urelden in the 13th century. I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition? Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If
Y
you
se va
ever
sin
go to the
decirle
circle
nada a
again,
nadie, ¿sabes?
maybe I'll see you there.
En plan de YOLO, pero de manual. Es un YOLO de manual. La leche. Que debo... pienso, ¿vale? Sí, luego, además es que luego cuando vuelve a aparecer luego en Inquisition es como, ay, la gratitud, ¿sabes?
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing.
Me lo
for
habéis
want
dicho
of a king.
800.000 veces, decidme algo nuevo. ¿Para qué me van a decir nada nuevo?
Lord Harrowmont is the voice of tradition and stability. Lord Balin is the voice of anarchy.
Mira, aparecen partidos políticos.
Welcome to Lord Harrowmont's estate.
Es una señora casa, ¿eh?
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender. Second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of
Vamos a ver, me ves a mí con cara de estar con alguien,
If you
¿sabes? O
want to speak to
sea,
Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or
vamos,
intimidate
que
House
tengo que
Harrowmont's best
pelear
fighters into
porque
stepping
aquí,
down.
sabes que me hace mucha gracia.
That would be enlightening. Though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving
Vamos,
as his
que queréis
lordship's
que me
champion.
pegue por
With your
vosotros.
order's reputation, I've no
por
doubt
los
the
loles.
ancestors would favor your arm.
And this is to be your king. One who cannot keep his own men from running like frightened children.
Lord Harrowmont does not use threats or intimidation to motivate his men. He leads by example.
Ah, I see. So it's his example they follow as they cower from this Prince Balin.
How dare you slander Lord Harrowmont?
Why should we ally ourselves with someone too scared even to grant us an audience? I suppose not everyone can face death as undaunted as an Antivan, it's true.
A ver, es que cuando se ponen así que es como en plan de vamos a ver, cállate bocaza.
Humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. But I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
Es que quiero que veamos un poco también lo que nos ofrece el otro. Yo normalmente voy con Harrowmont, pero no sé lo que haría Badica, entonces...
What is your desire?
Nada, me he equivocado. No volverá a ocurrir.
Lord Balin is the voice of change and defense. Lord Harrowmont is the voice of stagnation and ruin.
¿Cómo no? Es que parecen partidos políticos totalmente, ¿eh? Me siento un poco vigilada. Esto es un caos. ¿Pero por qué? O sea, ¿qué le pasa a esta gente? Es muy violenta. Era el botón que no era, pero no pasa nada.
Caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things.
Gracias por ese follow. Y sí, es un poco del palo de... Bueno, pues es como todas las misiones secundarias, ¿no? De... Podríamos hacerlo nosotros, pero no lo vamos a hacer. Preferimos que lo hagas tú. Lo vamos a intentar, pero no... ¡Hostia! No me lo puedo creer.
All complete.
O sea, no me lo puedo creer. Ha abierto el cofre. A mí esto de las estanterías en mitad de la nada me fascina, ¿eh? Vamos a explorar el otro lado. Ah, que no puedo.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Pues muy bien. Pues me voy. Vamos a seguir explorando el sitio. Esto es la cosa esta.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Devorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those.
Qué bonito, vale, o sea, la excusa.
You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin
Es que
can't
esto es
know
igual,
who trusts.
macho. O sea, no
It's
sé,
been like a
hablas
knife
las
in the
cosas.
heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. You've been turned by Harriman's slanders already. I should have known no soul in Orzammar would be neutral. Would you be willing to prove that? Harriman has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harriman's deception...
Irrefutable evidence? Which I suppose you have?
I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harriman promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harriman can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harriman gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty. Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies.
Pues si
They
es
are
verdad,
the final arbiters
ve
of
a
all
ellos.
disputes in Orzammar.
Fastidia.
Fortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them.
¿Y?
And his grandfather was Lord Harriman's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion. I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Orzammar. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Balin's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it? Don't expect this offer to last. If my prince hears you swore allegiance to his enemy, he won't be so friendly next time. I will be here if you change your mind.
Totalmente de acuerdo, Joma. Es que ¿sabes qué pasa? Que tengo un dilema moral, ¿vale? O sea, porque normalmente yo suelo tirar por Harriman, porque es como más moral. Pero nunca he tirado por Belén y tengo curiosidad por ver qué pasa. Creo que Bodica, que no tiene conocimiento de lo que pasa. Yo sí, yo sé qué pasa en la historia de Nana y en fin. Vamos a ir con Belén.
I hope you're not wasting my time with more dithering. The choice I gave you was clear. If you want Balin to support you in your surface war, you'll have to help him take the throne. Excellent. I have the promissory notes right here. Just take them to Lady Dace and Lord Helmy, and show them Harriman is not as honest as he claims. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
Vamos a ir cambiando un poquito, que he ido tomando más o menos las decisiones de siempre y creo que hay que, no sé, ser un poco...
Do you see how things lie, Warden? Lord Harrowmont cannot trust you unproven, but he welcomes a good faith gesture.
Ay, estoy en un dilema moral.
Provings are how our ancestors show their judgment, pitting body against body in a ring of scared stone. Everyone in Orzammar accepts that judgment. The usual. A couple of Idukans, some Gavorns. He has many men lined up, but not all of them are top-ranking.
Hola, Banco
Jotun
Pescado.
Idukan and Wojciech Ivo
Pues nada,
are
hemos
his
estado
best.
dando vueltas por
They're both
Orzammar, he
unpredictable,
hecho una
and
misión
some of the best
secundaria y
fighters
estoy
Orzammar
dándome
has seen.
cabezazos porque no sé si irme con Harrowmont o con Harrowmont o como se pronuncia o con Vele.
Have you decided then? Will you enter the provings in Harrowmont's name? Then you and I have nothing more to say. Do you see how things lie, Warden? Lord Harrowmont cannot trust you unproven.
Le he dado
He
sin
welcomes a good faith
querer,
gesture.
le he dado sin querer.
Do not tarry. Proving starts this afternoon.
Le he dicho que iba a ir con Belén, vamos con Belén. A saco Paco. Por ver qué pasa. Mira, una visión secundaria.
Thief! Who would dare to... Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine. He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Vale, misión secundaria aceptada. Mira, otra misión secundaria.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. Not exactly, but... I'm looking for any birth records from the old Orton Tig. It fell in the last blight, and my mother's family claims to be related. If I'm an Orton, it means I'm noble. I'd have my own house, a seat in the assembly. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins,
Bueno,
somewhere in the deep
como
roads.
tenemos que ir.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Ya has subido de nivel, chachi. Ay, de la Constitución. Para que me pueda abrir cerraduras. Ah, para que me pueda abrir cerraduras.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it
Y
firsthand.
que lo digas.
I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of
Zebor.
Memories. The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you. That is an odd request. especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same.
Bueno.
On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
Qué fuerte.
He seems a charitable man, but that is a thin thread on which to tie Orzammar's traditions. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? These are Harrowmont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these? Whom are you protecting? It is a crime against the Shaperate to falsify legal documents. Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical. The prince consulted me before his father died. He wanted to know about King Bimo, the last king to rule during a blight. I told him Bimo made many changes during his rule. The assembly was even disbanded for a 2-year period. Bimo declared that, in times of war, the warrior caste answered directly to the king, and all voting was suspended. Balin seemed quite interested. He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I am related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Sagmund, which lost its tie to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago. The Shaperate do not vote. We simply record history as it happens. I cannot speak my opinions. History can be changed with a careless word. The Gavorn family is a minor one, founded when a daughter of the Ferender house married down to a warrior caste man. Her brother died, leaving her family heirless. So the assembly granted him a new family name and allowed him to adopt his daughter's children as heirs. Vartag Gavorn is on record asking the assembly to bar Harrowmont from King Endrin's sick room. He is a vocal supporter of Prince Balin. You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.
Se me está haciendo muy duro seguir lo de Belén, ¿vale? O sea... Vale, desenvaina la espada sin querer. Oh, un cofre. Zebran.
It is done.
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy? Forged? Well, naturally they're forged. There is no legal way for Harrowmont to sell the same land twice over, is there? You want to know how the game is played? I wrote the papers and left a sizable fee with the registry office to back them.
But if you think figuring it out gets you off the line, you don't understand how this works.
I'm asking for a show of loyalty, so exactly how much truth is involved shouldn't matter in the slightest. Now, where does your allegiance lie, Warden? If you cannot support my prince, do not expect him to serve you. If you change your mind, you know what you must do to earn his indulgence.
Su putísima madre. Llevamos ya casi 1 hora y media. Voy a hacer lo propio y me voy a ir.
Lord Haramont is a
weak man, and he will be a weak.
Raise your voice in support of Lord Haramont, the one true king of Orzammar.
2 years tomorrow.
Creo que lo vamos a ir dejando ya, ¿vale?
Why, thank you so much.
Buah, me he equivocado. Bueno, no pasa nada. No pasa nada. Lo vamos a dejar aquí. Voy a guardar partida. Y el próximo sábado, si todo va bien, seguimos con Dragon Age. Intentaré hacer algún directo a lo largo de la semana de otras cosas. No sé, o continuando con Assassin's Creed o con Haven, que lo tenemos a media. Perdón, o dibujando, ya veremos. Bueno, os recuerdo que tengo Coffee, que podéis seguirme en mis redes sociales. Y bueno, nos vemos el próximo día, ¿vale? Que tengo que comprobar cosillas, así que pasad buena noche.